This video of Gene Deal revealing one of Diddy's purported lovers was just shared by 50 Cent on Instagram. Everyone who it is being revealed that Diddy had sex and dated in secret. Additionally, some of the names on this list are unbelievable.
So I opened the door and the dude said, "Yo, I'm here for my cousin." I said, "Who your cousin?" He said, "Ja Rule." I said, "Well, he busy right now." He said, "He busy doing what?" I said, "He with Puff. They're in the room. They busy. They don't want to be bothered." He said, "Well, I'm going in there." I said, "Bruh, you ain't going in there because he told me they don't want nobody to be bothered him." He tried to bum rush me. I grabbed it and threw him against the piano. When I threw him into the piano, Puff and Ja Rule runs out the room. Puff got his towel, Ja grabbing his towel, but they butt the naked. And so then Ja was like, "Yo, what's going on? Yo, Jay, that's my cousin." He know me well, and Puff was like, "Yo, Jay, what happened?" I said, "He tried to get in the room. I told him he couldn't get in the room." And he was like, Puff looked at Ja. He said, "Yo," Ja said, "You ain't want to go in that room. There's a lot of freaking going on."
Gene Deal is discussing Ja Rule, Diddy, and their time spent together in a closed room. Considerably, if the story's beginning is considerably more bizarre, it still falls short of explaining Diddy's true motivations. Everything Diddy does has a reason, and even the uncomfortable circumstance in which he was caught with Ja was prearranged. Now, if you're curious about what they were doing inside, you can learn more by listening to Gene explain.
So when we went through the door, they gave him a brown paper bag, so I guess this is a place that he was used to and people knew him there. So when they gave him a brown paper bag, Puff was just going around the store, just picking items off the shelves and stuff like that, putting them in the brown paper bag. So then, I was behind him and no Diddy, but I was about 3 feet behind him, as he was putting stuff and putting it in his bag and stuff like that. So there's one particular place that he was put up there, he had to reach up kind of high and get it. So he just started pulling things out. And he was pulling a lot of them off there. So I was like, so I looked up and the thing said butt plugs. When he walking down the thing, said butt plugs. I said, "Hey, yo," just to mess with him. I said, "Hey, yo, what are you getting these for?" And he said, Can I do my shopping by myself?" I said, "Yes, you can." And I waited up at the register for him, because they had the big counter up there. So when he came to the counter, I said, "Yo, I'm finna see what this this mofo is putting in his bag, because I know he gonna have to take everything and put it on the counter so the dude could count it, right?" My man, when he came there, he gave the dude a wad of hundreds like this. So he gave him a wad of hundred and just put it up there. The dude ain't even, he ain't even want to know what was in the bag. I was like, yo.
Did you hear that correctly? For Ja, Diddy purchased some sexual entertainment. Furthermore, this was not a recent event. Diddy was doing it on a daily basis. The man at the desk pretended that this was normal even though he knew what Diddy was receiving. Interestingly, this only confirms what I had said. Diddy intended to be apprehended. It also relates to the reason he first desired Ja.
And this whole time him and Ja is talking, he talking about Ja going at Jigga. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy. But he was talking about Ja getting at Jay-Z. And he was talking bad and talking crazy about Jay-Z, and how Ja was talking about if it wasn't for him, that Jay wouldn't be the artist he was. He got him started. He wrote certain things and stuff like that to put him out there, because, back in the day, nobody was even effing with Jay like that. So, but Puff was he was adamant about Ja going at Jay. You understand? So we get to the hotel, we're in the presidential suite and all this stuff like that.
This freak-off party was really a means for Diddy to get power over Ja, in order to use Ja as a pawn against Jay-Z. What was happening in the room baffled even Ja. Gene went on to say that Diddy and Ja were in there with 2 ladies. And Sarah Chapman, Diddy's baby mom, was one of them. She used to date Tupac, and Diddy wanted to insult him, so he purposely picked her to be there.
And him and Diddy was doing, something, and like I said that they was doing something. I don't know what the F they were doing, bruh. The only reason I know was some freaky things going up in there that Ja really didn't even understand, because he said, yo, you ain't want to be up in there because there's a whole lot of freaky going on. So I was like, I wouldn't have known nothing. I wouldn't even care. And I don't care today. But you know how the internet is. They cut and paste what they want to paste, and they put what they want to put to make it seem like I was saying this dude and Puff was in there, alone, and they wasn't. You understand? And that was them. They did their thing, up in there with the honeys in there. I guess. I can only guess. So, listen, bro, I've said this 1,000 times. It was Sarah Chapman and her girlfriend. Now, Sarah Chapman, if people don't know who she is, now she's one of Puff baby mamas. But prior to her being one of Puff baby mamas, this is the same girl that was dating Puff best friend, Corey Jacobs, and she was dating Tupac. Whatever they did, that was on them. But that's the kind of games Puff played in order to get people to do what he wanted them to do. You understand? He got them, he wanted Ja to go at Jay-Z, so he got these chicks to go at Ja. You understand what I'm saying? Whether he did it or fell into it, I don't know. Because I don't know him and Jay-Z beef or why they was beefing in the first place or whatever the situation was. People who are close to either one of them may know more than I do on that, but I knew Puff was working to get Ja to go at Jay, and that was happening on that particular day.
And Ja began to keep quiet when Gene told the tale. In response to Ja's exposure, academics discussed how Diddy was most likely trying to control Ja by utilizing this episode. Ja Rule even used Twitter to react to the Diddy documentary. He tweeted, "Let's be real 50D gaff about the victims. We are all aware of his motivation." Pointing to their long-standing animosity, Ja tweeted,
This Diddy letting a lot of people know. This was wilding and freaking and getting up in the 90s until they realized that, hold up, wait, there's no statute of limitations. I'm serious.
Yeah, no, you're right.
A lot of them niggas was getting in the freak on. Listen, yo, there's been a couple names mentioned that we ain't seen them since. Everybody lay low. It's like everybody ducking. We ain't get another brunch forever. No more brunches.
Yeah, no.
Ever since Gene Deal said that Ja Rule came out of the joint with a towel, I ain't seen Ja since. What does Ja Rule think now? And Ja's my man, but still, what does he think?
Yeah, I feel you.
And he shouldn't say nothing, right? He shouldn't say nothing, because we're in the time that when these moments happen, anything you say makes you look more guiltier. Be like, oh, how many parties had? Like, you don't even want to be down to answer the questions. And you can't also even say, because I do think this is a legit answer for some of these people. Truth be told, that type of school parties was what was happening at the time. People are gonna take that answer to be, oh, so all y'all were doing it. So all y'all were doing exactly what Diddy did. So again, you can't say nothing about it.
Meek Mills is the second individual to be exposed as having dated Diddy. It may have been 50 Cent. In fact, 50 Cent declined Diddy's invitation to go shopping on a date. Diddy told Meek the same thing after 50 declined. I'll let 50 respond to what transpired afterward.
You got close when he offered to take you shopping.
Yeah, you see, now Meek is in the same shirt. He's out there in the same shirt. This is not Photoshop. This is really happening. I'm just saying to you. No, stop. Stop it, look. You set that up. Look, you set that up. This dude, he's in the same shirt.
What do you mean he's in the same shirt?
He obviously was not offended by what I was offended by. This is what I'm saying, bro. You go, I'm like, nah, it was odd. Like, this is some of the things that people say, like, girls, guys may say to a girl, like, let me take a shot. See?
Damn.
They found it that quick.
What do you think is happening in the middle?
I don't know what is going on.
Wow,
there.
they found Kendrick and Wifey.
You can't dress up Kendrick like that. Oh, you can't dress him up like that.
No, it's jokes.
That's like the white chicks movie, bro. You can't do that.
Yeah, that was comedy. That was good.
Yeah, but that
get away with Wifey.
That's obviously doing chopping. They got the same outfit.
Yeah, it's true.
Although Meek has always denied the accusations since they first surfaced, it is impossible to overlook the fact that he appeared alongside Diddy dressed same. Even more bizarre is the fact that Meek supposedly purchased his adult entertainment on his own, in contrast to the Jaw incident. Meek ultimately revealed himself as a result of this.
So then, you go on his Twitter page, you click on his likes, bro. You see things that he's liking. That's questionable. Would you come up in here with a matching shirt with me?
Hell no.
Hell no. Ace, would you pop out with a matching shirt with me, bro? Styles, put that on something you gonna pop out with. No, boy, it's not going like that, bro. Would you let me call you daddy?
Hell no.
No, bro. I've been saying this for years. I say, man, these boys strange, bro. The things they into is strange. I've seen so much. I've seen a lot, bro. So like with him, look how he responded to the situation. Not one time did he come out and say these things are a lie. Did you see that?
Yep.
He didn't say that.
He didn't deny it.
No, he didn't deny nothing. Because if he deny it, what's finna come out? Footage.
You think Diddy has footage on Meek?
For sure. He got cameras through his whole crib.
Meek continues being lured back closer to Diddy, the more he attempts to escape. Meek even officially distanced himself from Diddy in a video back in November of last year, declaring, "No Diddy gang." Meek seemed even more skeptical as a result of all of this. Since the moment Diddy's name was mentioned, Meek has started tweeting about him. Meek was the most paranoid of the celebs mentioned. Do Meek's actions stem from anything he wants to conceal?
Meek Mill had a video recently. He was walking around someplace, and he said, "No Diddy."
No Diddy gang, Meek Mill in real life. Don't ever disrespect me. You heard that Meek? Yeah, Meek.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you saw that?
No, I seen it.
Yeah, I mean, look, you can't really know Diddy your way out of that photo when you got the matching outfit with Puffy. You can't know Diddy your way out of that. But I guess it's a little disappointing is that it seemed like Meek Mill was an actual friend.
There's no friends in the industry, Vlad.
But it seemed like they were actually had a relationship.
It's no friends in the industry, Vlad. There ain't no friends in the industry. I think a lot of people, you see all the silence we hearing now? I think Ray J kind of said, even though Ray J's kind of going a little cuckoo recently, love him. But here's there's a lot of people silent. And there's three reasons. One, they got some skeleton in their closet. They're like, let me not jump in because I don't want them to look at me. Two, some of them was at these parties and they may have freaked off a couple girls with Diddy.
Yeah.
And
Or
three,
guys.
Yeah, or guys, right? And the third version is literally them trying to figure out like, I don't want to be against this guy if he beats it. So everybody's been watching it. So they're watching it and they'll be like, psst.
Meek is now unable to avoid being connected to Diddy. It probably doesn't help that all he can speak about is Diddy. Meek Mill asserts that someone is attempting to link his name to Diddy and is waging a smear campaign against him. He claims that people just want to discredit Black musicians, and he will identify the perpetrators. I want to hire an investigative team, 100,000 cash to find out every specific detail involving Meek Millame to Diddy case. Meek tweeted, I also want them to investigate Meek's supporters in the media. Do you have anything to do with Buddy? Something is wrong.
About his name being brought up alongside allegations of drug use with underage girls. He has claimed online that his success in the industry, as well as his work to reform the criminal justice system, has made him a target. And Meek Mill is very active on X, formerly Twitter. He has voiced his thoughts about the lawsuit as well as the rumors. In September, he tweeted, quote, from the streets of Philly to becoming a millionaire to helping reform the system to bridging a gap of billionaires to interacting with the rap culture that results in success. It's a lot of people hating on me on the low. They don't play with guns, they do campaigns. And he also tweeted several times about the rumors surrounding his sexuality. For example, one tweet reads, I have the right to say I ain't gay and I'll trash anybody that play with my manhood, LOL. Then earlier this week, he put an offer on the table, a $100,000 reward for anyone who can figure out how he got named in Rodney Jones' lawsuit in the first place. He tweeted, I want to hire an investigative team, $100K cash, to find out every specific detail involving Meek Mill name to Diddy case. I also want them to look at who is powering the media involving Meek, anything to do with Buddy. And then in quotes, something not right. And then he followed that up minutes later with, the streets know what's up with me. That's not the case. We talking about business side, somebody powering these bad campaigns with Meek Mill. Again, I got $100K for a thorough investigation of what's powering and how exactly my name connect to this.
And then there's undoubtedly the one person who really liked Diddy and doesn't dispute that they had sex with him. Burroughs Kirk. Gene Deal thinks that Kirk and Diddy were secret lovers. Kirk participated in the documentary because he is upset with Diddy for his infidelity.
Puff used to do, they didn't talk about this, he used to do the building, Daddy's house, whereas that unsigned rappers, unsigned artists would rap at this place, and it was called the building on Monday nights. Then he would do the Red Zone on Wednesday. I would have to go with him and make sure that he was all right and take the money to Kirk Burroughs' house after the Red Zone. But I didn't think nothing at the time. At that time, I didn't think nothing of it, that he was spending the night with Kirk Burroughs either every Wednesday night. He got a whole girl at home, but he's spending the night with Kirk Burroughs. He's staying at Kirk's house. Like, yo, all right, cool. Didn't think nothing of it. And then Kirk had made a mention to some people over the years that him and Puff used to wake up and pray together. And I'm, in my mind, I know he's talking about saying prayers and all that shit like that. But in my other mind, I'm thinking you waking up with a dude praying? What's going on? Then there was a situation that somebody said long time ago in the office. They caught Kirk giving Puff a in the office. Now that was the rumor that was going around. How true it is? They was lovers. It came out in his lawsuit. He tried to say that Puff was, what he said, actually a him.
Gene saw Kirk's behavior with Diddy and the fact that they shared a bed. Kirk and Diddy weren't even attempting to conceal it. In fact, Gene said that Kirk was in love with Diddy, which is likely why he gave Diddy ownership of Bad Boy.
If somebody you, how you letting them come stay at your house every Wednesday night? After the club? I think they were boyfriends, you know. I think, my honest opinion, I think Kirk was in love with Puff to a certain degree. And Puff was using him, and Kirk was giving up the bugina to him. Anything Puff asked him to do, he would do. You know, he'd go at people, he'd talk. Kirk would talk to you on the behalf of Puff. And I believe that was his man to a certain degree in his mind. And the way he was saying shit on that documentary, you could feel that they had a relationship.
You would not have anticipated that Diddy's mother is the most startling name on this list. Diddy allegedly had an improper connection with his mother.
But why you believe she knew about the Fricos?
Because one of the witnesses said she was there. And do you remember this, bro? Check it out. People tell off on themselves so much, man, and I don't understand when people don't catch it. Diddy has said this. He said, when I give a party, I have to have an ambulance outside of the house. Paramedics ready. That people have to take IVs. Remember the time that him and his mama kissed each other on the lips?
Yeah, I remember that video.
Do you remember that both of them was getting an IV at the same time?
Yeah, I did notice that, yup.
That's from the Diddy freak off party. And I'm gonna say allegedly.
So let me ask you this. You knowing her at one point, you knowing her personally, is she the kind of person that, will be a part of a freak off or no?
I think that she liked to party and she party with young people. She's always been like that. She always copied or emulated Little Kim and Mary J. Blige. Or they emulated her. The blonde hair, the nails, the high boots, the age-appropriate, inappropriate clothing.
The startling aspect of the situation is that Diddy's mother began praising him for becoming the head of the household when his father passed away. Furthermore, several of Diddy's closest childhood pals have said that Diddy had an improper connection with his mother. Gandil even confided in everyone that he thought Diddy's connection with his mother was more complicated than it first seemed. Because Diddy's mother often attended all the events, she was aware that Diddy was running freak-offs. Jean saw her there and observed Diddy's behavior toward her. Diddy learned how to do these things from Janice.
But when I said Diddy mother might be the originator of the freak-offs. All right, so tomorrow Peacock is dropping. According to the Rolling Stone, the doc features an alleged childhood friend of Puff's, hip-hop producer Tim Dog Patterson. He alleged that Janice, Diddy's mom, would often throw parties at Diddy's childhood home. He says that during the parties, it wasn't uncommon to walk into rooms where adults was having sex. I mean, that was just their normal. And the doc, when talking about the parties, Tim says, verbatim, "That's what we were privy to. This was what we were fed. Was it desensitizing us?"
She is bad boy. You think it's Diddy, it's Janice Combs. Janice Combs is bad boy. Man, you don't actually sign to Diddy. His name is on a dotted line, but you actually sign it to Janice Combs.
Did he ever tell you why that is, or do you understand?
Oh, now that I'm older, I know exactly what it is. It's a paper trail, so nothing can come bite me. If you come for me, you ain't coming for me. I ain't got nothing. You going to my mama. Good luck with it.
There is one thing that is evident. Diddy's sentence would have been far harsher if he had received a fair trial. According to reports, one of the jurors was a Diddy lover. It's difficult to think it didn't influence her opinion of him during the trial. The notion that a jury might distinguish between serious accusations and celebrity adulation raises fundamental concerns about the process's objectivity.
And the juror 106, that goofy black sheep, they sitting there, and when they ask about him making eye contact or about him looking at the jury, they both lied. In my opinion, they both lied. The way when it asked, well, did he ever make eye contact? No. No, well, see, they gave instructions and said, you can't look at him. But the girl sat there and was talking about how he would look over at the jury because he forgot where he was, and how, sometimes he would nod and do this. But you said that he never looked over at the jury. You said that you never made eye contact with him. And then she starts talking about, because I just think that he nods back and forth because he always used to do that. If you were never a fan of him, if you were only a fan of the artist, and you were never a fan of him, and you were never paying, and then the way they were able to edit in him nodding back and forth during making the band and all of that, it's just kind of wild to me that nobody is seeing exactly how compromised these jurors are.
This goes beyond a single documentary or one relationship that was made public. It's about how quiet, notoriety, and power enabled this to continue for so long, and how unpleasant the truth becomes when people stop turning a blind eye. This narrative is far from over if more insiders continue to speak. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and enable alerts to remain up to date on any new developments.